A group of kids once hacked the Xbox and shocked the entire gaming world. How did they pull it off? And what happened next? Let's find out. In the digital shadows of the early 2010s, a story unfolded that felt like it was, totally ripped from a Hollywood script. It wasn't the work of state-sponsored spies or seasoned cyber criminals. Instead, it was a small group of teenagers and young adults scattered across the globe but united by a single passion: video games. They called themselves Xbox Underground. This wasn't just about playing games, it was about getting inside them, understanding them, and owning them before anyone else. Their curiosity pushed them past digital barriers that were supposed to be impenetrable, leading them on a wild ride into the heart of the gaming industry's most guarded secrets. The leader of this audacious crew was a young Canadian named David Pokora. Alongside his collaborators, including Sanadode Neshewat and Nathan LaRue from the United States, and an Australian known as Super Day, they formed a tight-knit digital fraternity. Their motivation wasn't primarily financial, at least not at first. It was about the thrill of the challenge, the prestige within their community, and the intoxicating power of knowing what millions of gamers could only dream of. They wanted to see the future of gaming, and they decided the only way to do that was to take it for themselves, one stolen password at a time. Their journey began with a simple desire to get ahead in the gaming world. They wanted unreleased content, developer access, and the bragging rights that came with it. This hunger for exclusivity drove them to explore the digital backdoors of the very companies they admired. They started small, poking and prodding at corporate networks, searching for any crack they could exploit. What began as a game of digital cat and mouse soon escalated into a full-blown international hacking spree, targeting some of the biggest names in technology and entertainment with surprising and honestly, alarming success. The story of Xbox Underground serves as a stark reminder of a different era of cybersecurity, a time when youthful curiosity, when combined with technical skill, could bypass multi-billion-dollar corporate defenses. They weren't just kids playing around. They were a determined and resourceful team that managed to outsmart security experts and get their hands on incredibly valuable information. Their tale is a fascinating look into the mindset of young hackers and the vulnerabilities they can expose, showing just how thin the line is between digital playground and federal crime. Xbox Underground didn't rely on a single magic trick to bypass corporate security. They used a diverse toolkit of hacking techniques. One of their most effective methods was social engineering. This involved manipulating company employees into giving up sensitive information. They would impersonate other staff members or create believable scenarios over the phone or email to coax workers into revealing login credentials. Once they had a foothold, even a small one, they could move through a company's network. It was a testament to the fact that the human element often remains the weakest link in any security chain, no matter how advanced the technology. In addition to their social manipulation skills, the group was proficient in more technical attacks. They frequently used SQL injection, a classic web hacking technique that exploits vulnerabilities in a website's database. By inputting malicious code into a web form, they could trick a server into dumping its contents, which often included usernames, passwords, and other confidential data. This method gave them direct access to the internal networks of major corporations, including giants like Microsoft, Epic Games, and Valve. They methodically sifted through the data, looking for keys to unlock even more valuable digital vaults. Their list of targets reads like a who's who of the video game industry. Microsoft, the creator of the Xbox, was their primary obsession. They were determined to uncover every secret about the upcoming Xbox One console. Epic Games, the studio behind the blockbuster Gears of War series, was another prime target. So was Valve, the company responsible for the massive PC gaming platform, Steam. But their reach extended beyond just gaming. They even managed to breach the network of Zombie Studios, a developer that not only made consumer games but also created training software for the US military. The group's success was built on patience and persistence. After gaining initial access, they would spend months quietly exploring the compromised networks, stealing more credentials and escalating their privileges. They learned the internal structures of these companies, identifying key developers and executives whose accounts would hold the most valuable information. Each stolen login was a stepping stone, allowing them to climb higher up the digital ladder until they reached the crown jewels, the source code and technical plans for the next generation of entertainment. The sheer value of the intellectual property stolen by Xbox Underground was staggering. The U.S. Department of Justice later estimated the total worth to be somewhere between $100 million and $200 million. At the center of their heist was the then unreleased Xbox One console, codenamed Durango. The hackers managed to steal detailed technical specifications, software development kits, and even the source code for the new console. This was the kind of proprietary information that Microsoft had spent billions to develop and protect. Having it leak before the official announcement could have been catastrophic for the company's launch plans. Their digital treasure trove also included a library of unreleased video games. They got their hands on pre-release builds of highly anticipated titles like Gears of War 3 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. For the gaming world, this was the equivalent of seeing a blockbuster movie months before it hit theaters. The group didn't just hoard this content, they sometimes leaked it, causing chaos for developers and publishers who were working against tight deadlines. The thrill of having what no one else had was a powerful motivator, and sharing that power was part of the game. Perhaps the most alarming item on their list of stolen goods was not related to gaming at all. By hacking into zombie studios, the group accessed and stole a sophisticated simulator for the AH-64D Apache attack helicopter. This software was developed under contract for the U.S. Army and was used to train pilots. The theft of military-grade software by a group of teenage hackers immediately raised red flags and escalated the situation from a corporate security issue to a matter of national security, drawing the attention of federal law enforcement in a major way. Capitalizing on their unprecedented access, the hackers took their operation a step further. Using the stolen technical diagrams and software for the Xbox One, they physically built a counterfeit development kit. This fake console, assembled from parts and running stolen software, was a tangible trophy of their digital conquest. In a brazen move, they listed this one-of-a-kind device for sale on eBay in August 2012, long before the public even knew what the Xbox One looked like. It was sold for $5,000 to a buyer in Seychelles, but the FBI was already watching and intercepted the package. The sale of the counterfeit Xbox One development kit was a critical mistake. It provided federal investigators with a physical piece of evidence and a clear trail to follow. The FBI, working with international law enforcement agencies, had been quietly building a case against Xbox Underground. The theft of the Apache helicopter simulator had significantly raised the stakes, and authorities were now closing in from all sides. The digital breadcrumbs left by the hackers, once a sign of their bold confidence, now led directly to their real-world identities. The game was coming to an end. In 2014, the coordinated investigation resulted in a series of arrests. David Pecora, the Canadian leader, was apprehended and ultimately pleaded guilty in the United States to conspiracy to commit computer fraud. His American co-conspirators, Sanadode Nashewat and Nathan LaRue, also faced charges. Across the globe, Australian authorities arrested their own member of the crew. The international nature of the group required an equally international law enforcement response, demonstrating that geographical borders offered little protection from justice in the digital age. The once anonymous hackers were now facing very real consequences. The court proceedings revealed the full extent of the group's activities and brought their wild ride to an official close. David Pecora was sentenced to 18 months in prison for his role in the conspiracy. Others involved also received sentences, marking a definitive end to the Xbox Underground saga. The case sent a clear message to the hacking community. The thrill of the chase and the pursuit of digital prestige could lead directly to a prison cell. The lines they had crossed were not just virtual, they were legal, with severe real-world penalties. The story of Xbox Underground remains a powerful cautionary tale. For young people fascinated by technology, it highlights the immense risks of stepping over the line from curiosity into criminality. For the tech and gaming industries, it was a brutal wake-up call, exposing deep vulnerabilities in their security protocols and forcing them to reevaluate how they protect their most valuable assets. The legacy of these teenage hackers is a stark reminder that in our connected world, the distinction between a harmless prank and a federal crime can be dangerously thin.